Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast, where we like to talk to other working men about sports. And if you aren't a man, who cares? Welcome to the show. Tonight, we are going to talk about the upcoming women's college basketball games with North Carolina State versus Purdue and Alabama. Wait, oh, that's the men's. I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about North Carolina State versus South Carolina. There's two North Carolina states that are in there. And UConn versus Iowa, and how exciting those matchups are going to be. I gotta say, personally, I'm really excited for both these games, and I'll talk a little bit about it in a little bit here. John, what do you think about these games here?
I think they're both going to be very exciting. You have two, actually, all four of them have been showing that they've been powerhouses throughout this whole tournament. You have South Carolina that's undefeated, and still to prove that they are still a top dog.
36 and 0.
What?
36 and 0.
36 and 0. Try to make it 37 and 0.
Yep.
So you have that, and then on the other side you have someone like Caitlin Clark. Actually, you know what? You have on the other side you have Caitlin Clark versus Paige.
Yeah, Paige Bueckers, straight out of Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota, before you continue, the Minnesota State, Mankato, men's and women's both won the Division II titles this year, and for basketball. And the Minnesota Gophers women basketball is an NIT championship game. I think it's tonight or tomorrow, so that's pretty exciting for Minnesota sports.
Let's go, Minnesota!
And we got Paige Bueckers here, or was it Paige Buckers or Bueckers? People say it different ways, but she is in the Final Four for women's and is live this weekend. So Minnesota's getting lit, so that's pretty awesome. Getting some putting Minnesota on the map there.
And sure, our college sports put Minnesota on the map. Thank goodness we're trying to come back in this.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, you have two big names going at it, and it's just one of the type of games that I feel like you have to see for yourself. It's going to be magical.
It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be super exciting. What?
I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to say. Whoever comes out on top over Iowa and UConn, they're going to be tired. They better hope they're going to be playing against NC State.
Yeah, I mean, I can see NC State trying to give South Carolina a good run for their money too, though. I mean, this is the Final Four. These women have been balling out, and you got, like you said, you got Paige Bueckers, one of the best all-around women's basketball player, probably in college basketball. Then you got going against the best scorer in women's basketball. I think Caitlin Clark is the best scorer.
Oh, she is the best scorer, but I think she's the best offensively sound basketball player, women's basketball player.
Yeah, you can say that, but I think the best all around though is probably Paige Bueckers.
Offensive, defensively?
Yes, all around a basketball player.
But I'm saying, like, and as an offensive player, I'm definitely choosing Caitlin over.
Why not? I mean, you can go down and just chuck that thing from the logo and boom, goes in.
Exciting. Right now, Caitlin Clark, she leads her team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, but not blocks. So
I think the only way you're going to beat Caitlin Clark in Iowa is to let her score all the points in the world and then just isolate her, do her own thing, and then everybody else. It'd be basically you have to make it 5v1.
The LeBron James treatment, what people used to do with him in Cleveland at first.
Yeah, and as much as exciting though, as much as it is for her to put up 40 points, 50 points, break the records, what she does differently though is she gets everybody involved and makes her team better. Like you just listed off all those things that she leads. What is it? Assists,
points, rebounds, and steals.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So like, if she's not going to score a point, she's going to pass. If she's not going to pass, she's going to score points. If she's not going to do any of those, she's going to rebound. So she's everywhere. And going against another weapon on the other side that is well-rounded all around and better balanced, in my opinion. So it's going to be an exciting game. That's going on at 8 o'clock tonight Central Time. But before that, though, go ahead, say what you're going to say, and then I'm going to switch gears here.
No, you're good. You're good.
South Carolina and North Carolina State. North Carolina State is amped up. That whole college, they got their men's team in the Final Four. They're in the Final Four. What was that?
Sorry, that was my computer here.
Oh, and they are looking to make a name for themselves. And there's more pressure on South Carolina in this game, in my opinion, than there is North Carolina State. Because you got an undefeated team, 36-0. They lost last year in the Final Four. And now they got to go against North Carolina State this year. That's 31-6. They have nothing to lose, and I just think it's going to be closer than we think. North Carolina could possibly even take the upset, but South Carolina has to continue to play all the way through because they can be up big, but they give that 22-point lead. Was it a couple of games ago or a game ago?
Mm-hmm.
And almost lost that thing, and they cannot afford to do that against North Carolina State women's basketball team. They
No.
cannot. Their coach even told them, "Hey, look, we cannot give that up."
And it's one of those type of things I just feel like out of all four teams, North Carolina is the one that has the most to lose.
Yeah, because you got
I mean, not
Iowa.
North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm sorry, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. I agree, and Iowa too, because
No,
Iowa they have lost 4 games, but this is
uh,
Caitlin Clark's. This would be a nice cherry on top for that season to have for them.
oh yeah, but I'm saying Caitlin Clark as a player has the most to lose in this Final Four, but as a team, it's South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah. As a team, I agree with that. And as far as to lose, I mean, Caitlin Clark, she's getting offers all over the world right now. She wanted 5 million, or she's offered 5 million from Ice Cube to play in the Big Three, which is amazing. Never
Which,
had a woman in that. Never had a woman in that league. $5 million, more than what she'll make in the WNBA. And then I think somebody else in the league offered her 10 million.
would you do it?
That's tough because you want to become a staple in women's basketball history and help put the league on the map. But at the same time, you got money though. Like that's generational wealth right there.
Yes, I
Five
think
million. You
I
can
don't
you
think she
can
would do it.
invest that. Can she play both? I don't know.
Not to the rules of the WNBA. And once you're in season of the WNBA, you can't play two different two
Maybe
different.
they should change that because you know what? If Deion Sanders can play football and baseball, and Michael Jordan played basketball and baseball,
No, like they once one's in season, like once WNBA is in season to play, it's like okay, that league you can't play. If it's the off season, go ahead and do it.
is the Big Three off of that season?
You know, big season. The big three is right after the. I'm sorry. The big three is right after the NBA, which is the WNBA starts right there.
Dang, that's tough. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like she would be making history if she went that route
You
and went to the
know,
Big Three, but it got that money. Or
she
could
didn't be
she play
making.
at the Big Three a little bit and then go over to the WNBA then after she gets that bag? I mean, I don't know how many years they won in the Big Three, but just saying that's huge. I mean, that's some big money right there. And so I can't remember who it was that offered her 10 million. Somebody else offered her 10 million from the Big Three
So wait, someone else from the big three after
for
10?
like his team or something like that. Let me look it up here. Continue what you were gonna say.
I would say it's gonna be big either way she looks at it. I mean, you have Sabrina right now in the WNBA who's actually making shoe deals, and NBA players are wearing her shoes and stuff like that. She's got to deal with Nike with that. And then you have Angel Reese, who's still in college, who just released her own clothing line through Dick's Sporting Goods.
Here it is.
Oh,
Lil
there's diff-
Durk. Lil Durk raises the stakes of Ice Cube's Big Three offer to 10 million. Now, I don't know what Lil Durk has to do with the Big Three or anything like that. I don't know his position in that. I don't really follow the Big Three that much.
No, it's
But
just fun to watch over the summer, you know.
10 million. I mean, come on.
How can you go wrong?
That's a lot of money. And you'd be breaking the the gender line and being the first woman in there. Maybe the Big Three is the future. I don't know. They've been around for a while now. Everybody didn't think the Big Three would make it this far, and they have been.
That's
So,
true.
and maybe it's just a different route. Like, you know what? I'm gonna get that 10 million, and then that opens up other ladies to be like, hey, I get more money somewhere else. And maybe they start realizing that, hey, you know what? Because I don't know a lot about, I don't know what the profitability is of the WNBA. I don't know that. I heard rumors, or if you look it up, even like they say it's facts that the NBA fund that. So if the money
Mhm.
is not there and they can give you the money at the Big Three, maybe go after that.
I think with her and Angel Reese, and what's that center from South Carolina? Cardoza, is it? Cardoza?
Cardoza, big Camila Cardoza, man, she is huge, 6'7"
I
beast,
think with these
man.
women going into the WNBA, the stakes are going to be raised higher.
I hope so.
You can actually might be able to see a Magic Johnson, Larry Bird rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I'm just saying.
Maybe
Just saying.
I wouldn't say it's the same, but I would say that the vibe could possibly give you the same thing because this vibe because people love action, people love drama, people love rivalries. I mean, as much as people want to hate on Draymond Green beating the shit out of people on the court, people will go still see if this man's gonna play.
Oh yeah,
People
for
people love
sure.
to read this stuff. Oh, you got a notification and it's like Draymond Green punched a guy or elbowed a guy in the face. You're like, ooh, let me read this real quick.
You know, you're going on YouTube. Let me look this up real quick. I want to see him punch someone in the face. And
Yeah,
it's like,
so
okay, cool.
or this person dunked on somebody, or like the rivalry is back at. People love rivalries, people love stories, and if they can bring it to the WNBA, and again, the WNBA has started later than the NBA. The NBA at one point was looked down upon, and they were going to close it down, and it was
Yep.
brought back by two players, a rivalry of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. So I
Yep.
could see how you say that could bring back the WNBA because of a rivalry, not like, and
No,
I don't know, but
I'm not like it's going to be that same hyped up or anything like that. But I'm saying to have that rivalry, and just say, hey, they had this since college. They had this in AAU. They play against each other. Now they're in college and they play against each other. One won a national championship over the other. Can you imagine if Caitlin Clark wins a national championship? Next go, boom, they both have a national championship. Then they both make it to the WNBA championship and
people
they're
will
playing
tune in
against each
for those
other.
games. I just think that they got to keep highlighting these other players too. Paige Buckers, like you said, Cardoza,
Juju.
Pow, Juju, all of them. Like you got to highlight those players and put a magnifying glass on them. So, because I'm telling you right now, this is what I was going to start. What I was talking about at the beginning. We were in Vegas and we're at that sports book and we're hanging out, and you got the NBA on the small screen, the Lakers on the small screen, but on the big screen, you have college women's basketball, and everybody, all the men's eyes are glued to that. They're not watching the NBA.
No. The
They're
NBA
watching the WNBA. If you would reverse that back 3 years ago, I guarantee the NBA would be on the big screen, and you might have the women's college basketball on the small screen.
most likely.
That's how much it's grown. Like I seen, and these were like not just young people these were old cats that were in there watching the game, which was like it blew my mind. I'm like, this is huge. This is great for women's basketball. Like this is what needs to be out there. They need to keep pushing it. If there's rivalries, keep let's put it on the screen. Let's see it because the same thing was like with women in UFC, right?
What was it?
Like
Ronda Rousey was going through tearing up.
nobody was watching the UFC women really. And then Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate rivalry came in, and like they're fighting, and now everybody wants to watch that stuff. And now the women fights are sometimes outdoing the men on the cards.
Yeah, I totally agree with
So
you on that.
so when you can find a rivalry and make it people care about it, if you can care about the product, then people will start to watch. And I think maybe this is the time now where it's finally starting to catch on, and the tires are turning, and we might have a huge flood of not just college women's basketball, but WNBA, which would be great for everybody.
It would be.
It'd be great for everybody. I mean, I never really tuned in that much to WNBA. Got to give the Lynx credit though, because they gave Minnesota 3 championships, or
My
are they
amor. My amor.
exactly? But now I'm probably going to tune in more. It's like this is exciting. I want to see some excitement. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like it's just the way the storylines. I love a good story, and then to see these players do what they do, it's amazing. I haven't really watched, or I should say watched, but I haven't really been invested. And this is a long time ago. When you remember Diana Taurasi, when
Yeah.
she just came through and just wiped everybody out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of like, okay, that was great. Like I remember watching her when she was in college, and then watch some of her in the NBA, in the WNBA. So now we're back there, but now I think it's at a different level
I
and a
always,
different fight. So it's exciting, like to watch these games
it
tonight
is.
and see what happens. So
I always say, I always feel like they always get like a one-off. Like they get one great athlete that comes through and just dominates the game. You get someone like Candace Parker, Maya Moore, like you said, Diane Taurasi. But there's never one that's been there and been like that extra rival to them.
yeah, at least that I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe there
I mean,
was one that I don't know, but the rivalry seems like it's great, and that's what makes games, matchups, rivalries.
everyone
Though
loves it.
that's what makes good matchups. That's what makes really good games. And the more you have that, the more you want to watch. I mean, look at the Chicago Bulls and the Bad Boy Pistons.
Everyone loved it.
People love that rivalry. You got the Celtics and the Lakers. People love that shit. I mean, dude, the Bulls and Utah Jazz, like that was in the earlier rivalries. You know what I mean? Then in the West in the 90s and early 2000s, the Lakers and the Kings,
Oh yeah, Lakers
the
and Kings.
Blazers and the Spurs.
You had Spurs and Mavericks. Like
Yeah, like it's just wild. Then the other side, then you had what Boston and the Nets. The Nets had a decent team in the early 2000s, I believe.
oh yeah, with Jason Kidd, Vince Carter,
Yes.
Jefferson, and then you
Yep.
had Miami Heat and Cavaliers.
Yep. Miami Heat, Cavaliers. Dude, those are some serious good matchups, man. And like
And
that's what
something
people care about. And that's what probably the NBA is lacking right now is more rivalries.
and it is. I mean, you look at to me, I feel like the last great rivalry that was in the NBA was LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony. I remember those used to be dog fights.
I think, in my opinion, the last great rivalry, and I'm gonna date myself. I'm going back to like maybe it was at 09, 10, maybe it's 11, was the Lakers and Celtics with Kobe Bryant taking on the Big Three.
Don't forget about Pau Gasol. Don't forget about Pau.
When they got knocked out the first round, or not the first series when they play each other in the championship, and they came back and slayed those dudes, man, that was huge. Everybody was tuning in. And the fact that I'm gonna switch back to WNBA now, or not WNBA, but women's college basketball. The fact that had the most people watching, that was the most watched women's college basketball game, probably women's college ever or women's basketball game. That's huge. I think they had was it 12 point something million?
Yeah.
Like 12.1 million? That's amazing.
I think they might have had more than the NBA Finals last year. I think NBA Finals had like 11.
And it's well deserved. It's well deserved.
It is.
The game's about to start here in 2 minutes, so we're gonna get this up here. I want to hear your picks between North Carolina State and South Carolina.
I'm going with NC State for a upset against South Carolina. Who do you got?
I was gonna say the same thing, but I'm gonna go. Don Staley has her team ready, and they're gonna go in there and whoop ass, and they're just gonna. It might not even be close.
All right, who you got for the next game?
Between Iowa and UConn, I'm going UConn. Paige Buckers comes back from that knee, shows what she's really all about, and wins and goes to the championship because she was in the Final Four 2 years ago, and then she tore her knee after that and didn't make it. So she's back. She's here to prove and make a statement, and I think she's going to do it.
I'm here for Iowa. Caitlin Clark's going to get the national title underneath her belt, and this is the year for her to do it.
This is the year. This is the year because I think they're all. I think Paige might even go to the WNBA. I don't know.
It would not surprise me.
I don't know, but that's all I have to say about this topic. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
I have nothing.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for listening to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast, where we like to talk to other working men about sports. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We want to hear from you, and you'll hear from us soon. Thanks.
Peace.